welcome to the Paint Log. My name's Keith, and we're going to talk about my hobby progress this week. I learned two things in the hobby this week, the first being that the mini-specific primer to prime minis it's a sham. I got this Rust-Oleum camouflage spray paint from Ace Hardware down the street, and it is wonderful. I will show you a picture of a mini primed in it, and then I will also show you the selection of colors that they have. I can't recommend this primer enough. It's cheaper by like $7 or $8 for sure. You get more of it in a can. It covers in one coat, which you could, whichever picture it is, I think it's on this one. You could see it's just a much better bang for your buck, and I will be switching to this particular paint brand. I would like to caution though that I do not recommend the 2x coverage spray that is two of the cans in the picture. I think that it overcoats the miniature in primer, and it also just like gunks up all the details, so it makes it kind of hard in order to paint and get some definition to it. The second thing I learned is a fast and simple skin recipe, which will really add a lot of color to the skin of my miniatures. I'm excited to see how I can push this further on in the future. I chose a medium skin tone and base coated the model in it, the skin of the model in it, and then I chose a more fleshy pinkish highlight tone, and then picked out the definition and left the base tone in the shadows. I then made a 4:1 ratio of Games Workshop's Seraphim Sepia shade and Caraburg Crimson shade, and applied that all over the miniature and did that in two very thin coats. Overall, I'm really happy with the results for the amount of time that I put into it, and you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go ahead and look at the mini. That was a sneak peek at a dwarf warrior that I am painting up for a coworker in a color scheme that they chose. So, like I said before, even though I might not be pulling a random mini, this mini was a random project for a priming experiment that I talked about earlier, and it just so happened that I wanted to do a random color scheme. So keep submitting those if you really want to see a color scheme on a mini. Who knows? I might get the urge, or I might just decide to pick one randomly just because. That was not the only mini that I worked on this week. I finished a mini from the Cursed City box that is a crow on pillar with key. That's the best description that I get, and here's a picture. This is a lovely model and beautifully painted and a wonderful representation of what this model could have been. But instead of crow on pillar with key, I choose bluebird on pillar in desert with key, and the scheme is not cohesive. So here's pictures of my project this week. I really enjoyed working on this miniature, but there were a couple pitfalls overall in the design that I think hindered me in making it, like I said, seem cohesive. So the first bit being that I am not familiar with, or as familiar as I think I am with basing materials, which is like the bush that you see and like the grass. Again, but it's a desert, so it couldn't have been grass, so I put little pink dots on it to make it look like cacti, and I think that worked out, but that was just the first of the problem, because the second problem is the fact that I set the miniature itself too far back on the base, so I cannot get it into focus. I can't get the whole thing into focus on the front, which is where it looks best, and that frustrates me. It frustrates me very severely. I put it on the back on the sort of a hill to kind of give the aspect that this pillar was up, and I like the position of the pillar, the way it's leaning and everything, but ultimately I am unhappy that I can't get the bush and the cacti that I put little pink dots on in focus with the bird and the pillar. This has been my TED Talk. But that's all I have for you all in terms of my hobby progress. Remember, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like or leave a comment down below. If you really like the video, hit that subscribe button. I release a video like this every Thursday, and I would greatly appreciate it if you joined the community. And with that, I'm Keith. This has been the Paint Log, and I will see you all next time. Bye!